Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Wednesday, April 11th at 11:35 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. Looking at our friend Albedo, Wednesday, April 11th, showing large, heavy snow covering all of the northern hemisphere, north of 60 degrees latitude. We see complete Arctic ice for hundreds of miles in every direction. All of Hudson Bay frozen solid, and the ice thickness in the Arctic is rapidly accelerating over the last 48 hours. We're going to get to that data set. Here we are at the sea ice thickness for the 10th of April, 2018. You can see Arctic sea ice exceeding 15 feet across most of the center of the Arctic here. If we go directly to the North Pole, it is this blue region. There is a thin spot in the North Pole here. If we're talking thin, we're talking 1.57 meters. Whew, that's some thin ice. Let's come over to the volume chart here, and you can see how rapid increase has turned up in the last few hours. And in the next 24 hours, we are about to hit 2015 levels 2 weeks early from the original prediction. And now that brings us to 2014 levels, which we will exceed by the third week of April. Guys, the standard turnoff for melt, if we go back to 2014, the melting started in the first week of April. Back here in 2017, the melting started in the third week of April. The melting back in 2015 started in the first week of April. So we're going to watch where this flexure point is, and that is going to give us clues to how much ice is going to remain throughout the summer. Definitely mimicking 2014, probably eclipsing it. We're going to be watching it very closely because we deal with the truth on this channel, science. And that's a boom. Sea ice thickness is rapidly increasing over the last 24 hours. Here's the model for the blizzard, which is moving slowly from the west coast to the east coast. Currently, Oregon and the Sierra is experiencing heavy, wet snow. With this April storm, it's going to move to the east. By Thursday afternoon, all of Idaho will be covered in rain and snow, and the storm will intensify. Notice the isobars here. Northern Idaho, you're going to have heavy snow. Western Montana, heavy snow by tomorrow afternoon. The storm continues to intensify until it extends by Friday afternoon across the country. Snows in Utah, snows in Montana, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, northern Michigan, extending all the way to Maine. And the storm is slowly going to intensify here. These isobars are so tight. I can't believe we're not going to get more snow out of this than the GFS is predicting. We're going to run it through here. It's going to bomb out here into some heavy, heavy weather. Monday morning through Monday afternoon. It's looking like an East Coast nightmare on Monday. So heads up on the East Coast Monday for your East Coast nightmare. Monday night, it bombs out into a gigantic system. Remember this number 9? Remember that number 9 we've been seeing? That is the grand solar minimum, nor'easter number 9. And it is going to move up. And let's quick check the snowfall totals. Here they are. Let's run them through. Slowly the storm moves to the east. There are the heavy snows in the Sierra and the... look at those totals there. GFS is usually a little high here, but still you're looking for heavy snows in the Cascades, moderate to heavy snows in the Sierras over the next 24 to 48 hours as this snow develops. Here we are into Sunday. We're going to have a heavy snow band already set down across the entire country by Sunday. So Friday night into Saturday morning, snows will begin to develop in South Dakota, become heavy through central Minnesota and northern Michigan, northern Wisconsin. And by the time we're done the weekend, folks, look at this snow developing here west of Ontario. 4 feet predicted by Monday afternoon. Whew. Heads up, Ottawa. So there's your spring forecast. Heavy snow throughout all of eastern Canada. We're talking the heaviest snow all winter in the spring in eastern Canada. 12 to 16 inches predicted for hundreds of square miles in the glacial zone. I believe this is the beginning of the glaciation, folks. We're seeing it live. Some of this snow and ice may last through the summer, especially ice floating in Hudson Bay. We'll have to get some eyes and ears up in Hudson Bay to watch the melt and see if there is still ice in September as the snow starts to build again. Heavy snow is predicted for northern Idaho, the Idaho-Montana border. We have a heavy band in central Minnesota, up to 24 to 32 inches maybe in some areas. We have a 24-plus band on the northern tip of Michigan here, and a 48-plus band in Ontario. We're going to keep a close eye on this because records are going to be broken. Upcoming storms should push Billings over the snowfall record. Heads up, Billings, Montana. You're just 0.4 inches away from the all-time snowfall accumulation record ever recorded. And that's not the only record to be broken. Winter season update records may fall all over Montana. Hundreds of cities are going to break all-time snowfall records in Montana. Many already have. I'll leave you links to this. We're already bloviating. Hold on to your furry hat. Another winter storm is headed to Minnesota. You'll get links. Arkansas fruit growers assess the damage from a freeze. Brace for the second round this weekend. Those are no blueberries on that early season cultivar there. It's looking like an 80% loss. And there are many other fruits growing in this region and another freeze coming. This week, Arkansas's fruit growers were assessing the damage from last weekend's freeze, but it's not over. It's very critical this time in Arkansas for the peach, apple, and berry growers. You're listening, Ice Age farmer? This goes on the map. Let's talk about unprecedented 200,000 homes without power as storm hits Auckland, New Zealand. No wonder the footpath was closed. I didn't know there were that many people that lived in Auckland. Severe storm hits Saudi Arabia again less than a week after hailstorm killed hundreds of animals, smashing crops. Less than a week after a powerful hailstorm killed hundreds of sheep and lambs in the middle of Saudi Arabian desert, severe storms are again flooding Mecca. While they use giant squeegees and other types of things. And look, idiots, sheeple take selfies by the inundation. Man, this end game is going to be amazing. We're going to see millions of people lose their lives as they take pictures of themselves. Whew. We don't need them at the ranch. Untimely rain damages wheat crop. This is coming from India. More crop loss, more damage, setting up the food shortages ahead, the unrest and the famine in your future. Start preparing now. The district has witnessed rainfall for the third day in a row on Wednesday. Farmers had to face losses as the wheat crop was damaged at various places. 80% of the winter wheat is completely decimated in the U.S. 1 plus 2 does not equal 1. Seismic update. Thankfully, we have a waning lithospheric anomaly, and the only quake of note is a 5.5 here. Coming out of central Mexico, nothing significant. Space weather is on the uptick, and we're going to check that in a second. Significant eruption at Ambe volcano. This is not picked up by the mainstream. No one covered it. Just April 5th, more sulfur was released than at any other eruption over the past 3 years. And this is after they evacuated all 13,000 residents and sent them back to their death. The powers that be are idiots. Do not comply. Volcano update. We also have Reventador, Sinabung, Sakurajima, and Aoba. Sinabung is erupting, as well as Reventador and Sakurajima, which has been erupting for weeks, erupting again in the last 24 hours. Ongoing eruption at Aoba. Popo as well, erupting continuously for weeks. Space Weather News update. We see this coronal hole turning away and away out of the limb. And we can see we also have a small solar flare kicking off just moments ago in the high A range. Very insignificant. But that coronal hole stream is coupled with us for the last several days, and we're going to be going in and out of geomagnetic instability here. And we can see a spike here in the solar wind speed, which is going to send the KP up a little higher, up into the 3-4 range. Maybe we'll get another geomagnetic storm out of this, but I think we're about done, folks. Real quick, check the aurora, nothing significant. No need to run outside. Ancient mass extinctions caused by cosmic radiation, scientists say. This is when, 2007, we started to get the idea that galactic cosmic rays can affect things here on our planet. So if you're interested in learning about what we talk about on the channel, and you don't really know what we're talking about, this is where to get started about cosmic rays and mass extinctions, the spiral arms of our galaxy, and how the Earth travels through them at a periodicity of about 65 million years, coinciding with mass extinction events. Now let's talk about our worsening cosmic ray situation. Guys, we're headed into a magnetic pole flip. As the magnetosphere wanes during the pole flip, which could go as low as 10% or less in the next few decades, it's not going to bode well for biological life on the surface. The worsening cosmic ray situation is getting so bad that by 2020, they may stop all manned flights into space. They're just not telling us right now. If we come over to the graph here, here's the allowable days of cosmic rays, and you can see that by 2020, we're going to be well in the 200-day allowable limit. So those astronauts up in space stations will putting their life in harm's way here. And unfortunately, by the time the next cycle occurs, human health at the surface is going to be affected by these cosmic rays by 2035 in that region. So if you're concerned about the future of your children or yourself, if you're a young person on the planet, and you want to know what the consequences are, and you want to start learning about the science, come right here to Dr. Tony Phillips, The Worsening Cosmic Ray Situation, and you'll start to get a handle on it. We're not here to scare you. We're here to tell you the truth. Do not be scared. Be prepared. Cracking the mystery of the atmosphere's dazzling red and blue lightning. Many of you are sending me fear-mongering videos plaguing YouTube about these sprites or blue jets that are occurring in the atmosphere shooting up into space. We already told you about these. The ancients saw them in the skies. They wrote them down as petroglyphs, the running man, Jacob's ladder. It all comes from Peratt's instability in plasma physics, guys. In fact, Secure Team even posted a video claiming that this was recent footage from the ISS, and it's actually footage from over a year ago. So get your facts straight, Tyler. But what you're looking at is footage from the ISS above the surface of the Earth, and these are storms which are shooting cosmic jets into space. Now, this is a plasma discharge, not unlike the Tunguska event or the Carolina Bays, where we have a lightning bolt emanating from the surface of the planet and shooting up through the ionosphere into space. There it is. Science has named it blue jets. And fearmonger sites have think that alien ships are sucking energy out of the planet. Please unsubscribe to them if they're saying anything like that. It's total nonsense. It's predicted as we descend into the grand solar minimum and our magnetosphere wanes, cosmic rays are going to pummel the planet. Now, that's going to change biological activity on the surface of the Earth, leading to what many suggest the Justinian plagues are also a result of cosmic ray flux, causing a bacterial outbreak on the surface of the Earth, killing millions, tens of millions of people. A third of the population died in horrific ways as the sky glowed. Huh. I wonder what was making the sky glow. So, the waning magnetosphere allows more electricity to enter the circuit as well, causing more auroral formations. If you know and follow the electric universe, you know that we've seen a new aurora in the last few years, and it has been named Steve. This is a Birkeland current connection from the surface of the Earth out to space, and the color of it is blue or purple. We just saw that sprite formation coming from the ISS. Let's talk about seeding the clouds, why we mess with the Earth's climate, and we've been doing it since World War II. Even before the United States pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords, there was growing skepticism that the world could or would decrease its total greenhouse gases. It's total nonsense. But cloud seeding is not. It's a reality. We've been cloud seeding for over 75 years. And China has proposed to cloud seed at an epic rate in the near future. This is to secure water resources for what is about to occur, which is global unrest, crop shortages, and famine, the likes of which we haven't seen since the medieval warm, since this drop-off here, which caused the Dark Ages, the Little Ice Age, and most of the population to die in horrific ways. We are falling down our own cliff of our own grand solar minimum, just like the other empire fall drop-offs. There is no difference, folks, except that you're being lied to and disinformed, so you're not prepared for what's coming, because they want to be able to control you, so they want you to just shuffle into wherever they put you so that you'll be safe. So please pull your head out of your arse and get with the program. If you haven't been watching our videos from the beginning, just go back a few hundred days and start there. I repeat myself ad infinitum. Let's go over to a paper coming out that everyone's getting their panties in a bunch from the Journal of Geography, Environmental, and Earth Sciences International, titled Deadly Ultraviolet UVC UVB Penetrating the Earth's Surface, Human and Environmental Health Impacts. Guys, even if you're not a scientist, if you come down and read this paper, you should be suspect of what they're talking about. They start talking about all the contrails in the sky as a covert chemtrail phenomenon. So whatever scientist wrote this is part of the problem. He has bought into Dane Wigington's fear-mongering protocol that there is a covert spraying operation, SLAP, called the chemtrail conspiracy theory that's poisoning the whole planet. It's not what's going on, guys. There's cloud seeding going on. There's silver iodide polluting your groundwater and the soil as we speak. But the UVB and UVC that's penetrating from space to the surface is because of the cosmic rays increasing. It's because of our magnetosphere waning, and it's because of our descent into the grand solar minimum. As cosmic rays increase, this represents the waning magnetosphere. It is waning at an exponential rate. So we would expect UVCs and other cosmic radiation to penetrate the surface and go through our human bodies as we move forward. It's what causes mass extinctions and evolution. Heads up! Time to get some solar products as the grid is about to fail. This is coming from a recommendation from Prepper Nurse 1. Heads up, we love you. D-Light A1 gets 5 stars, $9. You flip it over, it has a solar panel on the back, and you're good to go. You don't need a battery. You just need to turn it to the sun. Even when it's cloudy, it will charge. So calm down, all you fearmongers. There's also a lantern version. You can buy a kit. There's a ton to choose from. I'll leave you this link. I just bought. Oh, I just got rid of it. The folding cover solar LED 100 lumen camping lantern, just because it's badass. I mean, look at the shape of this thing. It looks like a UFO. Tyler could throw it in the air on Secure Team and call it a UFO and scare everyone. Isn't that right, Tyler? Boom! Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. We had a great talk with Lee Wheelbarger. Ho! Did we cover chemtrails, prepping for the grand solar minimum? He'll be back next week on our radio show to talk about Faraday cages, cosmic rays, and how to survive and thrive in the global unrest that you're going to live through. Be safe, everybody.